They're very excited to perform for you. It's been a long time since we've been here playing, but the excitement is there, and you'll see a new level of team spirit and excitement tomorrow on the pitch. Thank you.
It's a team spirit to us, and we're extremely excited to play in front of you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Nikmati.
And so the first one is always a reality check when you take on a new team. You have to understand its strengths, you have to understand its weaknesses, and you have to understand what the people want. You know, as a country, what you accept as an identity that represents you. From what I see here in Indonesia, people are hardworking, there's an artistic spirit, and there's a family, there's a togetherness. So all of those elements will be wrapped up in our style of play. I think, looking at previous versions of Indonesia, there are so many things I like. The defensive capability of the team, their ability to stay together, strong, tight. But there are elements we can improve. In improving our attacking transition, I think it's important. And bringing a level of adaptability as well. I always thought, watching the Indonesian team, at times it looked predictable. And in international football now, you have to be more adaptable going into games, during games, across games. So you should see an element of that. But all in all, trying to bring alive the strengths of people like Elton Baggett, Giazdes, Calvin the Donk, etc., etc. I have to look at what they can really bring this country and adapt the style around them. The second question on the goalkeepers, when you first come, you really want to have a look at everything that you have in the cupboard. So we emptied the cupboard in the goalkeeping area just to test our local players. And we have players coming from Serie A, from Eredivisie, top clubs, and I think the local players get a chance to learn standards. They get to see different ideas. Martin Paes now at Ajax, who's learning some new things that he brings back to Indonesia that I want him to share with our younger goalkeepers. And those goalkeepers will be required. Highland Cup this year, we'll expect Indonesian.
I'd say the biggest difference now compared to when I was playing here 2 years ago is the standard and the quality of player. I think there's a lot more playing in Europe, playing at top clubs, top leagues, and these players that come here, they set a higher standard. I think as well the togetherness and the team spirit is a lot higher than it was before. A lot of that, of course, coming from Coach John's energy he brings to us and our different mentality now. I'd say those are the two things which I think are different now to when I was playing before.
So for a coach, you work with the foundation that is there, and as I said, the defensive structures put in place by Shin Tae-yong were fantastic. Patrick brought a more expansive style, and for me it's taking that to the next level. I've been fortunate to work with Champions League winners, Euro winners, players who've won league titles in France, Turkey, and a team that's qualified for a World Cup. So I'll bring the mentality, I'll bring the standards that I learned from those top players and what we needed to bring together, which is team spirit. First and foremost, a new level of team spirit. Team spirit that bends but doesn't break in games. And a tactical excellence, a new level of clarity for the players in each moment of the game to bring them more cohesive, more consistent in the tougher moments that require that that winning edge, and that's what I'm working on every day. A big part of our family, big part of our squad, and will be in the future. For this camp, he's made his statement. He has his own reasons, but for me, this focus since Sunday, since 3 weeks ago, since I joined in January, has been about executing these 4 days at the level and the standard that these players deserve. And we've had a group in here that have really taken on a new mindset, and hopefully they'll show that in the game. When it comes to replacement players, I'm pretty comfortable with the group that we have. We have a good squad here now. Everyone's arrived, everyone's healthy. So, we have what we need at this moment in time to be successful.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It's a great question. I'm really happy someone asked about our youth in this country. I think it's super important to always incorporate young players into the squad. I always try and build a little bit of balance across the squad with twilight players, those over the age of 30, players in the peak ages, which is really the players you want to be taken to a World Cup or qualifying. And then the development players, 21 to 25, and then the breakthrough players, those 18 to 20-year-olds. So you always are going to get a balance in your squad, particularly in friendly matches. So the young players that we selected, we believe they've earned that right. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And from what I've seen Donny Tree play now 4 times live. Every time I've learned something new about him and his performance. And from what I've seen, I think he has a lot of potential to move to that next level. So really important as a head coach that I can help him on his journey. If he's earned the right to play in training this week, then the more international games he plays, the more opportunity he has to springboard to that next level in the game. So that's just one player that I've seen, but those players on the outskirts, I will have a shadow squad that will come together in May. We'll have extended training for a group of U23 and senior players as we start to select for the Highland Cup. And I think I was quite public about this. This camp is a big European focus. The players from Europe, I've tried to bring them in this FIFA window, knowing that in July I won't have access to these players because of FIFA rules. So I will be using the local players in the July period, and then after July I'll be clear. Who will I take to the AFC Championship? So these 2-3 windows that we have in competitions gives me the big picture to test all of our players to know who are the ones to take into the AFC.
Me, obviously, the last time I played for Indonesia was in Qatar in 2024. Since then, 2 years have gone past, and there's a few reasons why I've not been obviously called to the national team. Ones that I'll probably leave today and come back to another time. Now's probably not the right time to talk about it. But I'm extremely happy to be here now, honoured. It's my country, and I want to perform the best I can and make myself, my family, and the people of this country proud.
I think coming back to your question, thank you. We've had some wins already this week. Winning on the pitch is the most important thing, and every time we come together we play to win. But there's been big wins already. We've been able to inculcate a new high performance culture, embracing local and international staff working together, bringing in new faces, new players, immersing ourselves in a new culture and a new language. It's been fantastic. So there's been a lot of wins, and I need to say this to the people, the fans. International football is step by step. Step by step. The goal here is to qualify for 2030.
every step I take in the next 3 years on that journey is a step towards that. If we win now, fantastic. It helps us confidence, mindset. If we don't win now, we'll have taken some critical steps. We'll have learned about our players. We'll have learned about our systems and structures and how they adapt in AFC. So there's going to be a lot of wins on the way, but I always challenge these men to make history. And we could be the first group of men to beat a European team on Indonesian soil. That's the mission. That's always, we want to be pioneering and being first. That's our first big challenge, to create history on Monday night. But we have St. Kitts right in front of us, and one step at a time.
And the last time I was here, I think maybe half the team is the same and maybe half is new. So of course there's always an adjustment period to settle in, to get to know the new players. Or in fact, I'm the new player now coming back. But you know, the new lads, they've been extremely welcoming, and that makes it a lot easier to settle in. And in terms of the competition, yeah, there's definitely more competition now than there was before, but we're a country, national team that's trying to achieve bigger and better things, and to be able to do that, you need a higher quality of player, and you know, competing against guys who are also playing in Europe's top 5 leagues is hopefully only going to make myself and others, you know, raise and improve each other's levels, to hopefully, perform better and get the results, to keep improving this country's FIFA ranking, and hopefully in the future qualify for the World Cup and bigger and better things.
I'm not going to be sharing that level of information, but I think Alkin said it. We have a lot of competition there, a lot of competition. We've had some players that have arrived early and some players that arrived a little bit later, so we'll obviously bring that into consideration. But it's competitive there. This team has got, for me, one of the best defensive units in AFC. Our goal is to be number 1 in AFC in our defensive capability. And people like Alkin and others are competing every day now to earn that spot. So for a coach, that's fantastic. It's what we need. But at the same time, what it tells you is we have massive quality, and I have a lot of hard decisions to make when it comes to selecting that defensive unit. Yeah, he can stop growing because he's making me look very short, that's for sure. And he's a guy who likes these Yorkshire puddings and gravy. We brought them to the team dinner last night, a real treat. But no, without him, he's a really fresh personality. I think for me, everything's about mentality. He's an ultimate pro from what I've seen in the last 4 days. He brings the right mentality, he has a positive mentality, he has a brave mentality, which I think this country needs. We need brave centre-backs that want to live on the ball, want to line with their passes. I've seen that. And again, I think physically, there's a certain style of player in England, and that's required to play the game there, and I think Alkin has a real physical profile that's quite unique in AFC and can really help us in our future. So all in all, the first 4 days in training, super positive. I can see leadership qualities, and it's been very positive.
One that I've probably gained the most in the couple of years that I've not been here is, John touched on probably the leadership qualities, and I think I'm quite vocal, and I can help organise what's in front of me, what's to the side of me. That's something I've picked up the past couple of years. Physicality, I think. When the players have come in the past 2 years, the team has naturally got bigger anyway, with the European players joining, but of course I bring that height. I just think, my capabilities on the ball. Hopefully I can implement that and help play in the style John wants us to play as well, and use my qualities to, hopefully, give a good performance for myself and for the team.